Beat, riding for Wally. Kill everybody walking. You know that it's on the finest. BT, how they want you bringing the beat, riding for Wally. Kill everybody walking. You know that it's on the finest.
What's going on, guys? I appreciate you joining me on the Civility Mindset channel. It's been a little while since I did one of these. Not going to be a very long video. I just brought a couple goodies in my goodie bag to show you guys my favorite pistols, my favorite guns. I'm going to start off with nothing crazy, and then I'm going to start to work up into the more extravagant weapons. But my go-to weapons are always going to be Glocks. I have Berettas, I have Sig Sauer 1911s, I have Canics, I have like very many Canics actually. I like Canic a lot. Let me see what else. Springfields, Hellcats, stuff like that. And that's pretty much it for the most part. Revolvers even, but that is pretty much it for the most part. Here we go. This is a stock Glock Gen 5 17, right? So normally I carry a 19. That's pretty much what I have, but this is just for home defense. This is a 17 because it's a little bit more barrel length, a little bit more slide length, a little bit more, right? This isn't something I would carry on the regular, but for my home, to defend my home, this is what I use. I don't need a red dot. I don't need anything on this super special. I just need to be able to acquire acquisition and fire a very sturdy weapon. So everything you see here is pretty much stock. The only thing that I do, and you'll notice on every weapon, and it is different in every weapon, you'll see that I cut a beaver tail out. This one's a little too high for me. I'm probably going to switch it and do a little longer. Excuse me. A little longer one, but for the most part I do this on every single pistol, and you'll see the modifications of the beaver tail in different aspects, like my 19X differently than I would this pistol. So I'm going to switch this out eventually and get a little bit longer one and use this on one of my other 19s. But that's that. And you know, just in case if anybody's wondering, completely unloaded weapons. All right, so this right here, my super Gucci'd out, if you will. It's really not, and you know, to me, I just love the way it looks. My P80, right? It's not Gucci, it's not this, that, but it just looks it. It looks freaking fancy. It looks awesome. It's sexy, but to be quite honest, I just needed a slide to go on my P80. And I thought this was pretty cool. I could use up to a different sets of lights on here, but I'm not a big fan of that. So what I ended up doing was I bought sights for this weapon, and Glock is pretty much set in its ways, which I'm not mad at. So this slide ends up being a little thinner than what I would like on the rear end. Normally it's either going to come out a little further, or in this section it would be out a little further, I should say a little further, and you can pretty much use these sights the appropriate way. If you notice, these sights are actually in reverse, which actually makes no difference, to be honest with you. I can acquire acquisition very quickly with these. Does not pose a problem. I've used them this way for quite some time now, and I've gotten so used to it that it legitimately, it's the exact same thing if it was to be reversed back to the original position. But what happens is this ends up coming out and it creates like a beaver tail. Not really a big fan. So I reversed it and I love it, and I'm going to keep it as is. I don't need an optic on here. Don't want an optic on here. This is pretty much my winter weapon. So this is what I would end up carrying, concealed carry. Holds 15 rounds, one in the head equaling out to 16. And I'm cool with it. I ended up putting this light on because it was just something that I felt was needed on this weapon. Not because it's going to help me with concealed carry or anything, but because it looked crappy. It looked really ugly. And, you know, a lot of people will talk shit and say, you know, it changes whatever, this, that, or third. I'm a bigger guy. I'm not going to get slowed down by this little piece of plastic. It's nothing in here. It's an Enforced piece of garbage. When I thought Enforced was good, I had bought it. Now I won't sell it because I won't give it to somebody else. But it does look good on the gun. So therefore, I'm keeping it. But anyway, so this is my concealed carry. These two weapons now, I took some time to build them, and I took some time to, I shouldn't say build, had certain things done to them. This right here is it's an absolutely beautiful weapon. I took my time on this one. This is a Glock 19X. It is all the bells and whistles. Again, nothing in here. So all the bells and whistles. This weapon is fucking phenomenal. This shoots 124 grain ammo. It has an Agency Arms barrel and compensator on it. It has a Holosun 407C. And if you notice, the rear and the front apertures, the sight apertures are in front of the rear optic. Also, the beaver tail is a little longer here. And then we got the stippling done by Dave Modz. This weapon, also the spray, the what do you call it? The Cerakote paint job is done by Dave Modz as well. So you will see that on both sides, it's that water print. I just absolutely love water print. Camo or whatever, if you will. And this stipple job, it's a very soft stippling. On my next one that I'll show you, it's actually a harder stippling, but it will eventually get to that softness. I love what he did with this. This was kind of new for him, and so he started doing this, and I was one of the first weapons that he ended up doing this on, and I love it. I absolutely love it. I'm normally like more grip, but this is just so soft in the hand, and it's incredibly accurate when I fire it. It's an outstanding weapon. You will notice that I pretty much only use TLR1s, and the reason why is because I have my duty holster, if you will, is a when I remember it, I'll let you know. But it's very popular, and it pretty much only fits this, right? So what I ended up doing was, with my holster, so that I can fit my next weapon, I got a Safariland, sorry. So I got a Safariland holster that was meant for a Glock 17. And then I put this compensator on it. It would not fit, so I had to finagle and do some things with the holster, which now this fits absolutely perfectly. It's like butter when it goes in. So this weapon system is just a phenomenal weapon system. But I just need you to keep in mind, this now has a 124 grain round necessity. Not something that I wanted to happen, but it ended up happening. So it was not giving enough oomph. It wasn't giving enough pushback on the slide when the round was going out when I put the compensator on. So please keep in mind, when putting on comps and stuff, you are changing the weapon and its trajectory and the weapon system and hand. Things are going to change. So again, the slide was not the problem. The Norso slide, this is a Norso slide. I forget what slide it is, but the Norso slide was not the problem. The issue was when I comped it, it ended up just either maybe giving it too much mass or something, and the bullet was not enough. The powder burn was not enough. So I ended up then changing it, putting in 124 grain ammo, and now this shit shoots like a dream. This thing it's just a phenomenal gun. So That is my Glock 19X modified to, to the hills. Like, this thing is now fully, there's nothing else you can do to it. Also, you'll note that all my triggers and trigger systems and springs and everything are stock. I love stock Glock stuff. Other people, they get mad at it. They talk crap on it. But when I outshoot them at the range with stock Glock stuff, they can't get mad anymore. Now, this, on the other hand, is a super modified weapon. Yes, there is ammo in here, so I will keep that away. And there's nothing in the chamber. This weapon, the reason why it's still loaded is because you will notice on my last video, this is the one I took out. This is the one I would go to war with. I just didn't feel like taking this out, and I didn't feel like loading this one up with ammo, so this has been my home defense for the last day or two. But anyway, so this weapon is, as you can see, I'm just going to put it there. I'm not cocking it back. As you can see, it's a little bit bigger than the normal standard issued Glock 19, right? So this one is the Gen 3, by the way, with the P80s. Almost the same size, but now it's a little bit bigger with the flashlight and the magazine. So these two weapons, which are exactly the same, the 19X and this 19, the only thing is right in here, it's a little bit shorter, right? That's what 19s are known for. It's a little bit more concealable, right? This weapon has almost the exact same things going on, except right up in here, you will see the compensation ports. They're kind of like this, right? This one has a compensator right here. These are what we would call ports, right? So you port the slide and you port the barrel so that this way it mitigates much of the recoil. What you do is you do lose a little bit of the effect of the round. It doesn't go as far because there's less powder burn, stuff like that. But you're not losing much velocity when you're doing this. What it does is it gets you to fire at a rate that is much more substantial of mitigation than you would any other pistol. So I would like to get into this more, but honestly, I got a client coming. I just wanted to do this real quick, but this one is a darker, this one is a lighter form, but they are exactly the same. I prefer this one so much more. It is heavier and it's a stronger weapon. What's going on, brother? I'll be right with you. All right. Heavier, stronger weapon for me. I just thoroughly enjoy this one much more. Also, if I needed to, I can take the TLR1 off, keep everything else on, and get a smaller magazine. And now, like I said, take this TLR on, and this becomes a concealed carry weapon yet again. But I don't do that because I firmly love this, and I think it should stay the same way forever. These two I built for my sons, so when I am done shooting, these weapons will be of their choosing. So I don't want to hear any BS from them because they are both the exact same weapon, except one's a little bit longer and tan, and the other one's more black and a little heavier. But so that's it, guys. I just wanted to show you guys that. And I have other weapons, like I said, but preferably I go with Glock. And there's a big reason for it, because they're pretty much the AK-47s of pistols. They will work no matter what. Can you run into problems? Sure, everything mechanically does have and will have issues eventually. So get upper and lower parts kits so that this way you can learn also the internals and the externals of your weapon, not just how it looks and how it runs. You can learn everything so that if, God forbid, anything were to ever happen, you would know what to do in a pinch. But anyway, I love you guys. Get out there and train. Be safe. Peace.